思いがけず、すごい戦士が仲間になったかもですね。
Throughout the history of Dragon Ball, there have been characters that many don't like, but I don't think I've ever seen the entire fanbase come together to equally hate the following: Ribrianne, Caulifla, and Kale. When I watched Dragon Ball Super for the first time, I also hated these characters. I thought Ribrianne overstayed their welcome, and I thought Caulifla was a bullshit character altogether. But how do I feel about Kale? At first, I didn't like her for two reasons. One, I thought she was a bullshit character much like Caulifla, and two, I thought she was way too similar to Broly. But after watching the Broly movie, I decided to go back and rewatch Super, and upon my rewatch, I've noticed that she wasn't as bad as I thought she was. Now, she's not the best written character in Dragon Ball, far from it, but I thought her journey from being a timid girl to someone being more confident was really interesting, compared to the likes of the OG Broly or whatever Caulifla went through. So, in today's video, I figured to go ahead and go over Kale's character, and explain why I think her character wasn't that bad in Dragon Ball Super.
You're going to regret that, Goku! I'll make you pay!
In episode 89 of Dragon Ball Super, we are introduced to Kale, a female Saiyan who at first doesn't seem like much, but whenever she felt hopeless she would reveal a crazy amount of power. So crazy that it literally changes her entire physical appearance and personality, almost if she was a different character or something. However, this transformation would quickly show to be a problem for her that she would need to overcome. While she is a powerhouse in this form, she is unaware of what she is doing, making her a pretty dangerous threat. And with the Tournament of Power right around the corner, a bout that bans the likes of killing, she would need to find a way to control her power. Otherwise, she would lead Universe 6 to a bad outcome. Thankfully though, she wasn't able to transform into her Berserk form at will. However, she will unfortunately be shown to be the weakest link of the team during the beginning of the Tournament of Power, slowing down her comrade Caulifla as she constantly saves her in many dire situations. This bothers Kale, as she starts to think that she's a burden, useless, and too weak to help her universe, pretty much hating everything about herself. With these insecurities clogging up her mind, this will help her to finally transform into a Super Saiyan, the way that Cabba and Caulifla initially wanted her to. Contrast to her Berserk form, she is fully aware of what she is doing and can harness her power to her desire, helping her to break through the insecurities that she initially had within herself, strengthening herself as a character. But this wouldn't be the peak to her journey just yet, as a certain individual in her life will also help her to develop into a stronger character. Enter Caulifla. Now, despite me hating the way she was written in Super, I can appreciate her existence in helping to develop Kale as a character. It's no secret that Caulifla means a lot to Kale. Countless scenes can back that up. But there's one scene in particular that I think stands out from the rest between the two characters. In this scene, Kale is fighting side by side with Caulifla against Goku. In the middle of their fight, Kale attempts to get stronger by powering herself up as far as she could, but unfortunately, she ends up losing control of herself. Caulifla from a distance assumes that Kale has finally tamed the form, but it's unfortunately far from the truth. When she notices this, she begins to encourage Kale on how great she is as a fighter and as a friend, hoping that she would get through to Kale so that she wouldn't lose further control of herself. With this heartfelt speech, Kale was able to quickly snap out of her Berserk form and have full control of herself again, completely eliminating the Berserk form that was hidden inside of her, and concluding her character, as she was finally able to fight in a way that she always wanted without anything holding her back. So yeah, this is why I like Kale a lot in Dragon Ball Super. Within a short amount of time, she was able to fight through her demons to achieve what she always wanted, and to a degree, I found that to be pretty inspiring. Again, she's not the most compelling character ever written, but I do think she had a fairly interesting story that a lot of people tend to overlook just because she was associated with Caulifla. But after getting more insight on her character through this video, how do you currently feel about Kale now? Do you still think that she's badly written, or have you gained a little respect for her? Let me know in the comments below.